Hey guys, how's it going? It's Python. Welcome back to another Haikyu Fly High video on the channel, where today I'm gonna try my best to answer a question that's been asked of me quite a bit lately, and it's a really good question, to be honest, about your Shiratorizawa teams, which a lot of people are gonna look to build because a lot of people have Ushijima from the beginning. And the question is, of course, Gosski or Ohira. So should you go for Gosski right now? Should you save for Ohira? That is the question, and I'm gonna try my best to answer it. And but there's a lot of answers to that question depending on the way that you look at it. So I'm gonna answer them and then elaborate later. So first of all, just at face value, I would say Goshiki is the better character. He is a better wing spiker. He's a better attacker. He's one of the best SSR wing spikers in the game, certainly in terms of attacking, in my opinion. Ohira is a better receiver, right? He's a receive type and he deals well with quick attacks, so he's good in that regard. But I would say overall, just one-on-one, if you just compare them as units, I would say that Goshiki is the better unit. However, in the team building aspect of things, it's a different question. For the short term, I would say still in your Shiratorizawa team, for the short term, I would still say Goshiki is slightly better, but for the long term, I would say Ohira is the much better choice because of his resonance skills, because of his dupes. However, do you want to... Are you planning on using Ohira that long, like for that long... For the long run, or are you going to replace him later down the line? We're going to take a look at some different teams as well, where you can keep Ohira for the long term, or you can replace him and really make your decision, because it is going to cost you a lot of dupes. And is it actually worth it putting those dupes into Ohira, or should you like distribute between and maybe get Tendo a couple and Goshiki a couple, or Yamagata a couple, depending on the teams that you want to build. But let's start things off with the skills. Really quickly gonna go over this before we get to the stuff that really matters. So his first skill for Goshiki is whenever he scores, is a passive, of course. Whenever he scores, he increases team morale by 8, which is really nice, and it really helps out Bokuto. So if you ever want to include Bokuto in your Shiratorizawa team, whether it's the UR Bokuto or more preferably the SP version of Bokuto, he's actually really good in that regard. And I believe that that team can be really good in the future. If you want to go for the 3 SP summer units in your Shiratorizawa team, I think that can be a really good team. I still think there's a better team, but we'll get into that in a moment. Skill 2 is just receive 120% of the receive stat, pretty standard. The passive that you have to unlock with your training says that at the end of each turn, Goshiki gains a stack of sharp, and each stack increases power attack by 2.5 up to 5 stacks, and each level goes up by 0.5. Right, really good, really good passive. Helps out a lot. It goes off at the start of each turn. Really good. And then the ult, which performs a power spike with 225% of his attack, and for this spike, his awareness increases by 10%. That's the Miracle Maker skill, ult skill for him there. So overall, I would say he's one of the best power attackers in the game. The passive is really nice. Skill 1 is good as well. Let's get into Ohira quick before we actually move on to the resonance skills, which are the real game changer. Okay, so I'm on the JP server now. Let's take a look at Ohira's skills real quick. First of all, his stats are slightly better than Goshiki's. I'll say that. His power attack and receive are just slightly better. I don't know how much that's gonna matter. Of course, Goshiki has a serve as well, which I forgot to mention. But yeah, starting off with skill 1, which is a passive. It's when Ohira receives the ball. If the opponent's quick attack is a perfect, the power of the receive is increased by 40%, and it goes up by quite a bit. It goes up to 55 and then 70% at level 3. So this is actually a really good passive. Skill 2, I believe, is just to receive at 120% of power of the receive stat. Pretty standard. This was the same for Goshiki as well. Moving on to the unlockable passive, which increases his awareness by 5 and reaction by 10, and of course it goes up to 8 and 15 at max level 3, and then the ult is just a power attack, a power spike by 240% of the power attack stat. So Pretty standard, nothing crazy. Good receiver, of course. Skill 1 can be really nice, but you know, a lot of I don't know. I think you know, obviously at the moment and for a good amount of the time in the game, I think power attack's gonna be the way, but quick attacks are really good and as well. So I think this is a good skill to have. Again, I don't think he's great at face value at first. I don't think he's good. Well, he is good, but he's nothing special, I wouldn't say. So I would say for sure, if you want someone to score you some points, I would say Goshiki is the one to choose straight away at face value. However, where Ohira shines is as a team player with his resonance skills. But first of all, let's take a look at Goshiki's resonance skills. Okay, so let's go here at resonance 2. This is at 2 dupes. Each stack of sharp increase awareness by an extra 2%, which is really good, really nice. However, the best of Goshiki comes with his skill resonance 4, which is so good. When your side enters Team Morale Awakening state, Miracle Maker cooldown is reset, which is his ult, by the way. Excuse me. And when your side is in Team Morale Awakening state, Miracle Maker no longer enters cooldown, so you can just spam it continuously while you are on Miracle on the Team Moral Awakening state. Really good, really powerful unit, especially at Resonance 4, which is at 6 dupes, so it's gonna cost you a lot, but this is actually really nice. However, in the long term, in the team building aspect of things, it pales in comparison to Ohira's, because as good as Goshiki is, he is not Ushijima. And let me explain as we get onto Ohira's resonance skills. Okay, back on JP for Ohira's resonance skill. So at resonance skill 2, if he receives a if his receive or powerful spike result is a perfect, the next time that that your team's setter tosses the ball, then his awareness increases by 8%, and his power increases by 15%. So really nice, really cool effect here at skill 2 at 2 dupes. Just better, nothing crazy. However, at Resonance 4 at 6 dupes, this is the game changer, and this is where Ohira shines, and why you want him here in your team instead of Goshiki. And that is the skill says, excuse me, if his receive or powerful spike result is perfect, the cooldown of an ally's ult will be reduced by 2. And this is what I mean by as good as Goshiki is, and as good of an attacker as he is not Ushijima. Ushijima's on another level, so as much as you can help him get his ult back, it doesn't matter how many times you can spam Goshiki's ult. You just need Ushijima's, right? That's the one that you want to spam. So this is why in the long term, getting 6 dupes on Ohira is really good for your Shiratorizawa team. Now we get onto the, is it worth it? Should you go for 6 dupes on him? Now, of course, you can get healthy milk vouchers a lot easier than like the banana milks for the URs, right? Because you can get them from the events and from the shop and whatever, right? And even from the cumulative rewards, as well as I believe tomorrow we should be getting a healthy milk, so you can save that for Ohira, maybe, I don't know. It's your decision to make, but obviously, and we're gonna get into some teams right now real quick to take a look at and save and see if it actually is worth it to save and go for Ohira's dupes, or maybe it's not that worth it in the very long run. But it might just be, honestly, it might just be. So back on the team builder, they've actually updated it, so now you can actually save your teams. You can search characters by school, by stats, so you can see who's got the better spike, who's got the better serve, and all that. This is amazing. Shoutouts to the Voyaces. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The link to the Reddit post will be still down below in the comments. Right. Onto the team builder. I have Goshiki here because he's just there, but you could go for Ohira, right? Let's talk about who you actually want in the long run. So this is a team that I'm planning on building. This is a team that I would advise a lot of Shiratorizawa players to go for. However, there is another team that you could go for, but it's going to take you a lot of waiting. So this is a team that you want to go for in the long run. Now the thing is, how long are you planning on keeping this team for? Now I would say that in the long run, if you've got 6 dupes of Ohira, he's the one you want here. If you don't, obviously I would say Gosski is the better choice. But once you get 6 dupes of Ohira, he for sure is the best choice, especially if your team revolves around Ushijima, which if you have a Shiratorizawa team, it probably should, to be honest with you. Same with Oikawa. Oikawa helps Ushijima out a lot. So yeah, and these two are just great in general. So the question is, after you've built this team and you are at this stage of the game, right, and you've got either Ohira or Goshiki, right, what do you do next? Do you continue to build on this team, and whenever there's rerounds you chase dupes, especially for Ushijima, and try and get the 2 extra dupes for him to unlock his resonance 2, because his skill resonance 2 is really good. His resonance 4 is also amazing, but at least get him to resonance 2, I would say, if you're gonna keep this team for the long run. However, are you gonna change this team? And if you do, it's no longer gonna be a Shiratorizawa team. It's probably gonna be something like this, and this is something that I'm gonna go for, just because these two are so good. Komari and Sakusa are really good, and I just think if you are gonna build this in the long run, is it worth it putting your SSR dupes into Ohira alone, where you could put them into Tendo, of course. You can put them into Yamagata. You can put them into, I don't know, SSRs for your backup team or whatever. So if you are gonna plan on building this team on the long run, then think about it. Is it gonna be worth it still? Now, by the time that these guys come out, obviously, I believe that if you missed like Tendo or Goshiki, and you want Goshiki, or like Ohira or Yamagata or whoever, right, they're gonna be back, right? By the time these two come out, you're going to be able to select whoever you want for your select recruit to actually improve their rates. So you can there's just going to be everybody, and you can just select whoever to improve their rates for your SSR selection. That's how it is right now in JP. So by the time these guys are out, that's going to be the case for sure. By the time that these two are out, I don't think that's going to be the case, but I could be wrong. So again, this is the team that you probably want to build. It's a team that I'm planning on building. There are other options, of course. You could go for the summer trio, you could go for something like this, or something like this with them too. But of course, you could just keep it. You can just still keep it Shiratorizawa, right? Go for Shiratorizawa with these 3. But I just say that because, I mean, these come out first and they're just as good, I would say. So I personally go with this, that you can also extend onto here. So again, this is what I'm gonna do. This is the team that I'm gonna go for. What are you gonna do? I don't know. The reason why I'm gonna go for this is because I personally want more characters, and this is the decision that you have to make yourself. Do you want more characters, or do you want to make the most of the characters that you have? Because dupes matter. Dupes do matter a lot. Or should you chase dupes is a different question, right? And the answer can only be given by you. What do you value more? Do you want more characters to enjoy and have more fun, which is the way that I look at it and the way that I want to play it? Or do you just want to compete and get dupes, which I think probably is the better way, although I don't know. I don't know if this team with more dupes is better than this team with less. It's just your preference, really, and we'll just have to see how things go in the long run. But yeah, those will be the 2 teams that I would recommend. So if you are gonna go for this in the long run, then for sure you want to go for Ohira over Goshiki. But if you're just gonna switch to this, and again, this is gonna come, these 2 are gonna come much later. So you could even build this and go then into this. However, if you build this, Ohira is the one that you want at resonance 4 immediately, right? Whereas Tendo is resonance 2 is fine. Yamagata, I believe resonance 2 is fine. I'm not too sure. But Ohira, you want resonance 4, you want the 6 dupes, right? And if you switch into this, you're gonna feel a bit bad about not using Ohira as much anymore. So that's completely up to you to make the decision. Hopefully this helped you a little bit. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.